Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your caps as Kelly Beekman leads us in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please welcome to the stage, co-chair of the MAC Hermann Trophy Committee, Greg Beekman.
Good evening, good evening. Good evening. We'll have everybody take their seats and we'll kick this thing off. Welcome to the Missouri Athletic Club Hermann Trophy Banquet. Tonight, we look forward to crowning the Players of the Year in college soccer for the 2025 season. Congratulations to all the finalists, their coaches, and families. In 2002, the Missouri Athletic Club's Collegiate Player of the Year Award merged with the Hermann Trophy to create one definitive award for college soccer. Recently, the MAC and the Hermann family entered into a new agreement to further raise the national profile of this award. The MAC Sports Foundation thanks the Hermann family for their significant investment and commitment to making this college soccer's version of the Heisman Trophy. Please welcome Chairman and CEO of Hermann Companies, Robert R. Hermann.
Thank you, Greg. And I just got to say, that was quite a singer that you produced, Greg. That was Greg's daughter that opened up with the national anthem. So what a well-done song. So good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here tonight with the very best of college soccer. Everyone in this room represents the heart of the American game, its past, its present, and its future. Nearly 60 years ago, my father was instrumental in launching the National Professional Soccer League, or NPSL, believing that soccer was ready for a breakthrough in the U.S. The exponential rise of U.S. soccer over the most recent decade shows us that he made one mistake. He was about 60 years too early in launching it. In the 1960s, he recognized what much of the world already knew, that soccer was the #1 sport all over the planet, but that the U.S. was missing out on an opportunity. From that belief, the NPSL was born. I remember in 1966, long before conference calls were easy, he sat out to turn that belief into a reality. From a small town with limited phone lines, he brought together 12 prospective team owners on a single call, which was unique in those days. So for half a day, the entire town's phone system was tied up with his conference call until they ultimately agreed on the structure of the new professional league. While American soccer traces its roots back to the 1800s, it was the NPSL, which became the North American Soccer League, or NASL, that gave the sport its professional identity in this country. And it gave soccer a national stage, and it was proof that soccer belonged here. The league created the Hermann Trophy in 1967 to honor the highest level of excellence in collegiate soccer. From the beginning, it stood for more than individual achievement. It stood for leadership, for resilience, and for the essential role college soccer had played and continues to play in shaping the American game. The Missouri Athletic Club, a St. Louis institution with more than a century of celebrating athletic excellence, as you just heard from Greg, joined with the Hermann Trophy in 2002 to create what we now know as the MAC Hermann Trophy. Since then, it has honored the nation's top men's and women's collegiate players. Many of the most recognized names in the sport have stood right here in St. Louis to receive this award. Our 6 finalists, we have 3 men and 3 women over here. You represent the very best in college soccer today. And to our 2 winners, and we actually have several past winners I met earlier tonight with us tonight, but to our 2 winners, 2 new winners tonight, when your names are announced, you will join some of the greatest players in the history of the game. You will be part of a group that has played on 26 of 30 major soccer league clubs. You will join a tradition that includes 52 World Cup appearances. You will represent over 30 years of excellence in the Women's Olympic Games. And you will join 25 winners who have represented various national teams across the globe. This is not coincidence. This is legacy. We thank you for the hours. We thank you for the hours that no one counts, the sacrifices that no one sees, and the resilience it took to reach this moment. And tonight, your names will be engraved on our original bronze trophy right here, alongside generations of legends. You will now be part of this sport's history. So congratulations to you.
Now, to introduce our finalist for the night, please welcome to the stage Sports Director at KMOX Radio, Tom Ackerman.
Thank you very much. It is an honor to announce the finalists for the MAC Hermann Trophy. She led the Cardinal with 53 points behind her 21 goals and 11 assists, as Stanford posted a 21-2-2 record in winning the ACC championship and reaching the College Cup final. Stanford University senior forward Jasmine Akey. She led the Seminoles to their second NCAA College Cup title in the past 3 years, recording 36 points. Florida State posted a 16-2-4 record. Florida State junior forward Jordan Dudley. She was the ACC Offensive Player of the Year after scoring 19 goals and 44 points, helping the Irish to a 15-4-3 record. Notre Dame sophomore forward Izzy Engel. He led Washington with 14 assists, helping the Huskies to a 16-6-2 record and the program's first NCAA national title. University of Washington senior forward Richie Amon. He scored 19 goals to lead all NCAA Division I men in that category and registered 42 points this season in establishing school records and guiding the team to a 14-4-5 overall mark. Represented by the 2025 Grand Canyon coach George Kiefer, Grand Canyon University freshman forward Junior Joof. And he tallied 17 goals in leading the Wolfpack to the NCAA College Cup. North Carolina State University junior forward Donovan Phillip. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again for our MAC Hermann Trophy finalists. We invite you now to enjoy dinner, and we will be right back.
It's time to rock. It's time to rock. It's time to rock. Yeah. Yo, the party didn't start till my crew walked in, and it probably won't end till we hit the door again. Got a bottle of gin and a couple of friends. We about to set the vibe right, and yo, we on it again. Country in the mud, Bama is hell. Listen up, little homie, I got
Please welcome back to the stage, Greg Beekman.
All right. Hello again. Hello again. As you wrap up dinner and dessert, we're going to get the program rolling. The Missouri Athletic Club is grateful to have the opportunity to host and celebrate the top players in college soccer. It's made possible by the support of our president, Mike Kosny, general manager Chip Mish, and the club's outstanding team of chefs and servers. So please join me in a round of applause for the MAC staff. Soccer roots in St. Louis run deep, and it is a big reason we have the privilege to host prestigious national events like tonight. The city had its first soccer game back in 1882, and since then, 77 players from the region have represented the U.S. on the international level. And the local soccer community has been fortunate to have benefactors like Robert R. Hermann, who were at the forefront of growing the game at the professional and collegiate levels. Before we present the award named after Mr. Hermann later in the program, I want to say a few thank yous and shine a light on some success stories in our local soccer community. But I also want to acknowledge the absence of our longtime MC, Bill Mr. Soccer McDermott. Bill couldn't be with us tonight, so unfortunately it falls to me to carry on the tradition of telling his joke about why Jesus is Irish. But if I could remember it, I would. But we're going to leave that to Bill for next year. He's going to be back. He's in good health. He just couldn't make it tonight. So I also want to acknowledge our super sub, Tom Ackerman, and the sacrifice he's making tonight. There's not a bigger Indiana Hoosiers fan in the world than Tom Ackerman. And so we appreciate his presence tonight. So we're fortunate to have many outstanding organizations dedicated to promoting and serving soccer who are in attendance. One being Missouri Youth Soccer Association, or MISA. And of course, we love to give a special shout out to the Special Needs Soccer Association, SPENSA, which yep, they give individuals with disabilities the opportunity to play soccer, and it's a vital part of our soccer community. So I'd like to take a second. We've got 3 of their star players here tonight. So if they would stand, I'd like to take a second to introduce them. We've got Chris Bianchi. We've got Jesse Bush. And of course, we've got the delightful Claire Gardner. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Also joining us tonight is a man whose dedication and commitment played a huge role in the success and growth of this banquet. He served as MAC soccer chairman for 20 years. Please welcome Steve Kraus. Also at Steve's table, this fall there's a team called BOHFS that became the first amateur team from St. Louis to qualify for the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup in the tourney's modern history, following a 3-2 win over Chicago House AC. The U.S. Open Cup is U.S. soccer's oldest cup competition. The team's also notable because they had players from 13 different countries and an age range of 20 years from their youngest to oldest player. At Steve's table is the head coach who put the team together. Please welcome Alan Broderick. We also want to give a special thanks to St. Louis City SC and their VP of Communications, Mark Abel, for hosting our finalists at City Park earlier today for a tour. We appreciate the outstanding support of City SC. Please welcome their president and GM, Diego Gigliano, along with new sporting director Corey Ray and new head coach, Yuan DeMay. Welcome to St. Louis. We also have a former standout from St. Louis University who was the 1970 Rookie of the Year in the North American Soccer League. He's currently the president of the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame, and as always, in his trademark green jacket, Jim Leaker. Welcome, Jim. And speaking of St. Louis University, one of the coolest local sports stories of the year. This past season, the men's team earned a trip to the College Cup with an incredible string of victories, heart-stopping victories, over Kentucky, Indiana, Bryant, and Akron, the last three being on the road. Please welcome their head coach, Kevin Kalish, and two players from the College Cup squad, Jack DeMaria and Nick Schramm. And across town, another equally impressive story. The Washington University women's soccer team defeated Emory 2-1 for their second consecutive Division III national championship and the third in school history. Joining us are some of their players and their head coach, Jim Conlon. Congratulations to the national champs and the budding dynasty from Wash U. Later in the program, we'll hear three former Hermann Trophy winners share their memories from the 1994 World Cup. But now we have three other Hermann Trophy winners in the house who we would like to recognize. A two-time Hermann Trophy winner while playing at St. Louis University in 1969 and 1970, a member of the 1972 Olympic team and a National Soccer Hall of Famer. Please welcome Al Trost. Next, he won the Hermann Trophy Award in 1999 and the MAC Player of the Year in 2000. He is Duke's all-time leading goal scorer. Currently, he is president of MLS Next Pro and executive vice president of MLS Sporting Development. Welcome, Ali Curtis. And the 1999 MAC Player of the Year from UCLA. He had a 9-year career in Major League Soccer and was a player for the U.S. Olympic team in 2000, scoring the game-winning penalty kick in a victory over Japan. Please welcome Sasha Victorine. And to recognize a few more distinguished individuals and championship teams in attendance, welcome to the podium the MAC Soccer Banquet co-chair, a two-time high school state championship coach, my amazing wife, Annie Beekman.
For the first time at this banquet, we are pleased to have the opportunity to recognize the winners of the Keogh Award and the Klubny Award. In recognition of the legendary Harry Keogh Award and contributions made by the Keogh family to the sport of soccer, the awards were established in 2004 by former NASL player, St. Louis Stars player Jerry Mueller, to annually honor the outstanding male and female St. Louis soccer players of the year from the professional or collegiate ranks. The impressive list of past winners includes 7 players who have played in the World Cup, including Becky Sauerbrunn, Lori Klubny, Mike Sorber, Brian McBride, Brad Davis, Tim Reen, and Josh Sargent, along with MLS MVP Taylor Twellman. Beginning in 2023, the Women's Award was named after Lori Klubny. At this time, please welcome to the stage Olympic gold medalist and World Cup champion Lori Klubny to present the Klubny Award. This year's recipient of the Klubny Award is a graduate of MICDS. The freshman from Stanford was the ACC Goalkeeper of the Year this past season. Congratulations to Caroline Burkle. At this time, At this time, please welcome to the stage former U.S. national team member, longtime broadcaster, and Harry Keogh's son, Ty Keogh, to present the Keogh Award. This year's recipient of the Keogh Award is a Chaminade graduate. Following a successful collegiate career at the University of Wisconsin, he has made 173 appearances in Major League Soccer for the New York Red Bulls and Chicago Fire. Congratulations to Tom Parlow. Tom's wife, Allie, is with us tonight, and accepting the award on Tom's behalf is his mother, Charlene, and his grandfather, Charlie Reed. Each year at the Hermann Trophy Banquet, we are joined by several high school state championship teams. Coriazo Academy earned their second consecutive state championship, finishing the season with an overall record of 22-1. Along the way, the Chargers scored 106 goals with contributions from 19 different players and recorded 81 assists shared by 18 players. Maddie DiMaria led the Chargers with 45 goals and 19 assists, earning All-American honors. Emma Shields earned All-State recognition with 5 goals and 22 assists, showcasing her vision and playmaking ability. Roz Doherty also made major impact with 20 goals and 12 assists, while the team was anchored by a brick wall defense led by seniors Caroline Pingle and Caitlin Kemp. Congratulations to the state champs from Coriazo Academy. St. Joseph's Academy won the Class III Girls Championship. Maggie Drozda scored a goal in overtime to give the Angels a 2-1 victory over Fort Zumwalt South. It marked St. Joe's 8th state title in school history. Carolyn Shire earned Class III Player of the Year. Ella Mersch was Goalkeeper of the Year, and Maggie Drozden was All-Region Offense Player of the Year. And Drozda was named the Bob Keogh Future Star by the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame. The Angels were led by Coach of the Year, Maureen McVeigh, who retired after following a 36-year coaching career. Congratulations to the state champs from St. Joe's. The Clayton High School girls defeated St. Vincent's of Perryville 1-0 to capture the Class II state championship. Anna McAndrews scored the game's lone goal 4 minutes into the match to give the Greyhounds their second state title in 3 years. Clayton was led by Class II Player of the Year, Clara Gratz, Goalkeeper of the Year, Marin Holt, and Coach of the Year, Brendan Taylor. Congratulations to the state champs from Clayton High School. In Class 4 boys, St. Louis University High School claimed the Class 4 Boys State Championship, defeating Rockhurst 1-0 for their consecutive championship and 5th state championship in school's history. Other highlights from the season included winning the Champions League. Henry Sanders earned Player of the Year honors, and Cole Chambers was Goalkeeper of the Year. Patty Byrne and Connor Miles earned first-team All-State honors. The Junior Billikens are coached by Class 4 Private School Coach of the Year, Bob O'Connell. Congratulations to the state champs from St. Louis University High School.
To interview tonight's finalist, please welcome 1991 MAC Hermann Trophy Award winner, Alexi Lawless.
Good looking crowd here. Okay. Whew. Look at this. Everybody dressed up and ready to go. Wonderful to be back here again in St. Louis at the Missouri Athletic Club. Once again, I can't believe you've allowed me to come back and hang out with you. Okay, putting my readers on, which means that we're serious business here. This is designed to let you get a little bit more familiar with the finalists. We'll do this with the women, and then we'll do this with the men. And, speaking of men, there's some men behind these wonderful women here that are the coaches, and so we will talk to the players, we will talk to the coaches to find out what makes them tick and why they are so good. All right, there's no real order here, okay? But should we start out with you, Jasmine? How about that?
Sure.
Huh? Are you ready?
Yeah.
I talked to everybody here, all these players here earlier for my State of the Union podcast, which, by the way, you should all be subscribing to. And so I got a lot of my information when it comes to what's going on. All right. All right, here we go. Let's see. Top drawer soccer player of the year. All right. 21 goals, 11 assists. Is that right? Is that true? You sure?
Yeah.
All right. You can confirm that. Okay, I also told them all that I did a deep dive into their Instagram, okay? All the kids now, they put everything up there on Instagram. So I come to find out that you are also a surfer. Is that true?
Barely anymore.
You have surfed?
I have surfed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
More of a
Instagram is not
now.
lying then?
It's not lying, but I'm more of a golfer now.
Okay, academic All-American, computer sci. Let's see. We did have a wonderful conversation of AI. Tell the folks here, because I asked you all earlier, and I think it's important because I see a lot of younger players here, how soccer found you or how you found soccer.
I think soccer kind of found me a bit by accident. My dad actually missed the first year of rec soccer signups, so started off.
Nice going, Dad. You had one job.
I started off with softball, and then next year came around and started my first rec soccer game, and I just loved it. And from there,
what is it about soccer?
I just love the creativity and the way you can really just show off your skills and what you've worked on.
Yeah, I get that answer a lot when I talk to players that, and it's not that other sports don't have creativity, but the autonomy that you get when that whistle blows, it's up to you, with all due respect to you guys in the back row here. You do what you do, and then you kind of let them do it. That's part of the beauty for them. I think it's also probably part of the beauty for you. Why has this year been so great for you, and how has this year been so great?
I think the people around me have just been uplifting me throughout the past off season and this season. Just really grateful to be on such an amazing team and come out of the season healthy, and looking forward into my pro career. Wonderful,
wonderful. All right, let's go back here. All right, Coach Paul Ratcliffe, how you doing?
Good.
You good? You're all dressed up and ready to go. So when we do these things, I've found that the question that people have the most is, what makes them tick? Why are they so great? And look, I know you're going to say you have a wonderful team and it's a big team and kumbaya and all that kind of stuff, but we're concentrating on this player here. What makes her so good? Is it a specific thing or a combination of things, or is it just great coaching?
It's definitely not great coaching. It's a combination of many things. I think Jazzy is such a competitive spirit. She wants to win in everything she does, so her compete level is at the highest. And then she's a talented player technically. She has a good intelligence of the game. She understands the game well, and then she's a great athlete. So I think you put all those together, and then the X factor is that compete level. She wants to win more than anyone. And I think the greatest compliment I can give Jazzy is when she plays with our team, she makes everyone better on the team. Not just Jazzy scoring goals, but she brings everyone into the play, combines well with her teammates. When we're picking teams for games or selecting practices, everyone wants to be on Jazzy's team because she brings out the best in everyone around her with her compete and her love for the game.
All right, here's a question for the coach in you. And yes, we're going to extol the virtues, as we should, of all these incredible players. How can she get better?
Honestly, I think it's just experience, building her physical strength, continuing to work on her fitness and get stronger. But she has all the tools to have a big career. I think she's going to be a name we're all going to be hearing over and over again, and I'm hoping she can get to the U.S. Women's National Team. She's that good.
Wow. All right. High praise there. Okay. Let's right. I mean, geez. I mean, he's right here. He's got to say good things about you too. So, all right. Here we go. Let's see here. Izzy, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right.
How are you?
See, I told you it was going to be painless earlier today when you came on the pod. Everything was fine.
I wasn't too worried.
Before she left the pod, she made me promise that I would not mention the fact that she very publicly, it should be stated, told everybody that in her first year at college, let's see, I think we narrowed it down to 3 times that she actually changed the sheets on her bed. Okay?
He's doing it for laughs.
And look, yeah, I am doing it for laughs because it is hilarious, okay? But the reality is, yeah, I kind of busted you a little bit for that. But the reality is, the guys are going to come up later, and having been a college freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior at a certain point, I know that is 3 or 4 more times than they definitely did.
There we go.
Okay?
There we go.
Good God. All right, here we go. Let's see. Here we go. ACC Offensive Player of the Year, 19 goals, 6 assists. Let's see. We did the sheets thing already. Same thing to you. How did the game find you, or did you find the game?
I would say, I mean, everyone says like the game found you, but I would say I also grew up in a family that was very much just like surrounded by the game. My mom's, she's half Brazilian, or I'm half Brazilian. She's fully Brazilian. And so we just like grew up, like every time we were in Brazil, we would be playing soccer and seeing that culture there. And then I grew up in Minnesota, so bringing that culture to Minnesota. I just absolutely loved soccer, fell in love with it from the first time I touched the ball, and I got to like play with all my teammates. So I would definitely say that I grew up with it, but of course I found my passion within it.
No, we live in an age where specialization happens, obviously at a very young age, for better or worse. It's the reality out there. But a number of you that I talked today, including yourself, played multiple sports growing up. You were a track star, evidently. How do you, because we talked a little bit about the effect that it had on you, but do you think that you were a better soccer player relative to playing multiple sports?
Yes, no, I would 100% say that track was such a great experience for me, and I'm so grateful that I did it. I think it helped my conditioning. It was such a great workout and even just a great team environment. I was able to be a captain my junior year as well, so getting to the experience of leading not only soccer players, but also like a bigger team with like different groups of like sprinters and distance runners, and just being like a vocal leader in that way as well, I think was something that I really gained from it. But yeah, I mean, going off of what he was saying too, I would say there is so much like so many great things that you can get from specializing, and you can have different communities, different circles. But for me, it became a thing of overuse. I didn't end up running track my senior year because of that experience, and I had some injuries that I endured, and just going into my freshman year at Notre Dame, I really didn't want to like kind of compromise that, and I want to make sure that I was fully healthy for it. But I think there's like awesome lessons that you can learn, awesome values that you can take away from doing multiple sports.
All right, well, let's see if your coach agrees here. Nate, how we doing? All right?
Doing well.
By the way, another Michigan guy here, okay? Keeping it real here when it comes to Michigan. What makes her tick? How is she so good? Either a specific thing or a general thing?
Well, I think if you watch Izzy play, you'll notice right away, like, she's very talented, she's gifted, she's fast, she's quick, she's strong, but she has this tireless work rate. I've never coached an attacking player that is willing to press and chase and defend, from the front like she does, and it just doesn't ever stop. And she can get goals, by running at people and beating them 1v1 and scoring on the across, but she can also chase down a lost cause. She can take a ball off of a defender. And she's just also, I think, one of these, and I'll say this about her. I think this is a compliment. I've coached a lot of really talented players. And maybe this has been the case with some of these other players, but for her, like, I think sometimes when you have talented players, you can have some players on your team that might have like animosity or jealousy towards their success. I can say with full confidence, everybody on our team takes pride in the success that Izzy has, and that's because of the character she has.
You concur?
No, I'm kidding. I'm so great. I mean, my teammates, like, everyone says it, but, like, I wouldn't be here without them. And I'm surrounded by such amazing staff and teammates that
Wonderful.
So thankful for that.
All right. All right, last but certainly not least down there. How we doing?
Good.
Yeah, you nervous?
No.
Okay, good. Nobody should be nervous here tonight, regardless of what happens here. Jordan Dudley, Florida State junior forward, NCAA championship. Oh, there we go. Look at you. 11 goals, 3 game-winning goals, 14 assists. And speaking of multiple sports, and you can find this online. Nowadays, you can find everything online. You want video proof, you want picture proof. Wonderful, wonderful basketball player. We'll talk about that in a second. So, this year, did you do anything different to be sitting here today?
I don't think so. I think every year I've been here, I've had a great staff and great teammates to help me do the best I can, and I think maybe they've just helped me a lot.
But you didn't add anything in terms of your training or, I don't know, diet, or you went and saw, a clairvoyant or something like that.
No, I think I train harder because I want to get better, but
if it ain't broke, don't have to fix it, right? That's what I'm talking about. We were talking earlier today about, we've asked about how the game came to people, or if you found the game. You were telling me, what, 3 years old, you were kicking the ball around?
I was trying.
How does that happen?
I don't know. Ask my parents. They just kind of threw me
I
in
will.
there.
I'm going to meet them at the bar tonight. I'm going to find out. I'm going to get to the bottom of all of it. I'll meet all of you at the bar tonight. Believe me. It's going to be fun. All right, Coach. How we doing back there? We meet again.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. Perennial opportunity to talk to you. What makes her so great?
She is highly intelligent. You mentioned the basketball thing. She scored 2,000 points as a high school basketball player. Right? That's not many kids that go on. And actually, the first summer I got to Florida State, I got a text from our women's basketball coach saying, "Is Jordan Dudley really coming to Florida State to play soccer?" Because she was at an AAU basketball tournament watching Jordan Dudley and wanted to recruit Jordan Dudley for the basketball team. So, and when you play basketball, right, it's a lot in many ways like soccer, right? We know Steve Nash, right, grew up playing soccer,
yep.
right, and angles.
Triangles, all that.
Yeah, all of it, and rebounds, right, and reading kind of the movement of the ball and where things are going to bounce. So she's got a crazy innate sense of the game. And then she obviously can score goals. You just said it. She had 14 assists in 3 seasons. She's had, I think, equal number, maybe one off between goals and assists. She's led our team in assists the last couple years. When she had a breakout freshman year 3 years ago, people saw her as Jordan Dudley, the goal scorer. But in the last 2 years, she's continued to score goals, but she's also led pretty good teams in each of our last 2 seasons in assists. So she's a little bit of the total package. And like Nate was just talking about with Izzy, her ability to press high and press relentlessly is probably not a whole lot of fun to play against. So she's really, like these other players, a bit of a complete package.
Wonderful. Well, before I let you get off the stage, just let me say, from having sat down and talked to you, even for a limited period of time, and this applies for the men who are going to come up here in a second too, what was gratifying to me was the fact that, first off, the ambition and the pathways that, let's be honest, an old guy like me didn't necessarily have, you all have. And it's wonderful to see that you can see yourselves going through life, and not just on the soccer field. And to all of you, all right, who have been so important, obviously, in their lives, and not just telling them how to kick a ball, but teaching them all of the tools that are necessary to go on in life. I can tell you, from even talking to them for a short period of time, it is manifested. And you are not only going to send out good soccer players out there, but you're going to send out wonderful young women, obviously incredibly talented, incredibly intelligent, incredibly fun to talk to. I wish you all of the luck tonight, but more importantly, going forward in whatever you do, whether it's kicking the ball or not. It's been wonderful to hang out with you. Big hand for everybody here. Are you up next? Are you up next? Really? Greg's got contractual obligations that put him up here at least 8 times a night, and so we're trying to fill those. So, all right, get on up here then, my friend.
This is the last time, I promise. For this year's banquet, the Hermann Family Foundation and the MAC are partnering with United Soccer Coaches to present the Golden Whistle Award. United Soccer Coaches is the organization which administers the voting for the MAC Hermann Awards. Representing United Soccer Coaches tonight is Ralph Polson. A member of the association since 1983, Ralph is an accomplished soccer coach and a leader whose career in college athletics spans over 4 decades. Ralph served as president of the United Soccer Coaches in 2012 and has chaired their All-America Committee since 2002. United Soccer Coaches recently announced that Ralph has been selected as the recipient of the 2025 William Holman Award for Meritorious Service, which will be presented at the Coaches Convention in Philadelphia next week. On top of all these accomplishments, Ralph is a certified NISOA referee and has officiated over 200 collegiate games since 2019, which makes him the perfect person to present this award. I've gotten to know Ralph working with him on the Hermann Trophy Committee the last couple years. Just an outstanding man. We're really happy to have him here tonight. Please welcome Ralph Polson.
Don't want to drop that. And Alexi, I too have my readers. As Greg said, the MAC Hermann Trophy Committee has partnered with NISOA to launch the MAC Hermann Golden Whistle Award, a new honor that will annually recognize the top collegiate soccer referee. And I'm excited. Obviously, as a former college coach, now college referee, this is a big deal. I want to share with you a quote from our chair, Merrill Hermann, on the significance of this award and the partnership with NISOA. To quote, "Our partnership with NISOA reflects our shared belief that soccer reaches its highest potential when every part of it is elevated. The players, the coaches, and the referees who safeguard its integrity. With the launch of the Golden Whistle Award, we acknowledge a long overdue truth. Excellence on the field cannot be fully celebrated without honoring the officials who uphold the foundation of the game." Very eloquently stated, Merrill Hermann. And speaking of NISOA, I'd be remiss if I did not recognize my good friend and current president of NISOA, Jude Carr. Jude, please stand. It's through his efforts that we were able to make this award a reality. Now, to the good part. Let's talk about our recipient, Lucas Feathers. I'm going to share with you some assignments. Clemson versus NC State men. Florida State versus Virginia women. Wake Forest versus Virginia men. The West Virginia Derby, Marshall versus West Virginia. SMU versus Virginia in the ACC Championship. UNC versus Maryland, second round of the NCAA tournament. Duke versus Akron, third round NCAA tournament. And Washington versus Furman in the Men's College Cup semifinals. Now, for most referees, you would hope to be assigned those or that type of game over a career. For Lucas, that is but a sampling of what he did and what he accomplished this year. So you get an idea why he's being recognized. Lucas was nominated by our ACC assigner, Carmen Serbio, who's also sitting over there, and I would like to recognize him as well. I'll share with you a few comments that he provided us on the selection committee concerning Lucas and the nomination. Throughout the 2025 season, Lucas consistently demonstrated the professionalism, composure, and dedication that define the highest standard of collegiate officiating. His performance has been exceptional not only in its technical accuracy, but in his unwavering commitment to fairness, preparation, and respect for the game. Lucas approaches every assignment with unmatched preparation and integrity. His rapport with coaches and players is grounded in a mutual respect, and his calm, steady demeanor contributes enormously to the quality and the flow of the game. He has proven time and again that he can balance authority with approachability, ensuring the match is played fairly while keeping the focus where it belongs, and that's on the athletes. Beyond his own field excellence, Lucas embodies the character and professionalism that elevates the entire officiating community. His dedication to continuous improvement, mentorship, and advancement of officiating standards makes him not only an outstanding referee, but an invaluable contributor to the sport. So here's what we know. Lucas Feathers, excellent referee at the top of his profession. But here's what I want to share. Lucas is also an amazing husband to his wife, Nikki, who is here with us, and an amazing father to his two children, Leo and Marlo. Prior to the start of this season, his 16th as a college official, Lucas decided it would be his last. He was going to retire. I still remember the call when Jude and I called him to share the news of this award, and during the conversation we discussed his retirement. And one of the things he said that I remember was, for years, Nikki and the kids have sacrificed for me to pursue my love, my passion, but now it's their time. I can always come back to the game, maybe not at the same level, but I cannot make up for time lost with my family. Lucas, I believe that that decision further confirms why you are worthy of this award, the Golden Whistle Award. Please come forward to accept.
Thank you. I am honored to be the inaugural recipient of this award tonight. Over the past couple of days, I've been giving some thought to some words I could share with you, and it's been difficult. For one, because referees are not meant to be the center of attention, so this is new. But the one word I keep coming back to is gratitude. I am so grateful for what the game of soccer has given me in the course of my life. For me, the passion began as a player, but I did not have quite the level of talent the young men and women we're honoring tonight did. So after college, as my playing days came to an end, I turned to refereeing as a way to stay involved in the game. And I had no idea that 16 years later, I would be standing on the stage here tonight. Also worth saying that the career did not start out refereeing the magnitude of games that Ralph mentioned when he introduced me there. Many nights spent driving into the nooks and crannies of West Virginia and Ohio, refereeing games at various levels and divisions. But having come from some of those divisions, I tried always taking with me into those matches the knowledge and remembering that for those young athletes, those matches on those evenings meant everything. So I always felt a great duty to bring a very fair and level playing field to each and every one of those games, and I tried to take that further with me. Along the way, encountered some incredible mentors and assigners, a few that are here with me tonight. Thank you so much for eventually giving me the opportunity to have the best seat in the house to watch some of the best collegiate soccer in the country. To so many referees that came before me that consistently demonstrated professionalism and poise that I always tried to emulate. And lastly, to my wife who was mentioned, I thank you so much. During the fall when I would be off and gone, she had the tough job at home, a job that did get far more difficult as we had kids who are now 6 and 4. And while she knows what the game has given me all these years, over the past couple years, she started to see what it was taking from me, something that Ralph also alluded to. So because of that, I had to make the most difficult decision yet to decide that this past year, as great as it was, would be my last. And that makes this award that much sweeter. So it's been the honor of a lifetime. Thank you so much.
Continuing tonight's finalist interviews, please welcome back Alexi Lawless.
Oh, I can feel the bass in my loins. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. The men are up here. Okay, all dressed up and ready to go. You know what? Let's start down there because as you can see, we are missing a chair here. Junior Geoff is over in Europe pursuing an opportunity, and we wish him incredible luck with what's going on over there. We wish he was here tonight, but he isn't. So we got his proxy over here, this coach, George Kiefer. Welcome. Now, I'm going to start with you because many of you here have met these two young men and heard a little bit about him, and we'll hear a little bit more in a second, but you got to do it all for him, all right? So tell us about what makes him good and how he got to Grand Canyon where you coached him.
Sure. Yeah, it's pretty easy with Junior. Obviously, the goals is what everybody puts their eyes to, but as a coach, I always like to pick, but you never know where you learn something. But he was, when you talk to him about how he breaks down scoring goals, like when a lot of players, their heart rates get really elevated in those situations, the game almost slows down for him there. But he's really quick to look at the body weight of goalkeepers or what reaction they're doing, in a half a second, where I thought it was pretty interesting to see how he was able to figure that out so quick under that much pressure. But he made it look really easy.
We mentioned he's over in Europe. You think he's got a bright future?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
From a professional perspective?
Yeah, I've coached a couple, but I think he'll be a seven-figure guy in a second contract.
There we go. That's the kind of stuff we like to hear right there. Okay, to the players. Donovan, how we doing, all right?
I'm good.
You nervous?
Nah, not really.
Hey, you look good. That's half the battle, my friend.
That's
okay? Listen, take it from me. Okay? Just look good, all right? Yeah. Or try to look good. You guys both look good, by the way. All right, let's see. 19 goals. Led the NCAA. 1,482 minutes played, and led the team, obviously, to NCAA final. We were talking earlier today about your trajectory and your pathway, St. Lucia, and how important that was, and then Kiski Prep in Pennsylvania. What interested me, and what I thought was so impressive with you, is the way that you thought about your life relative to the game, but also your life after the game, and the things that you want to do, and the things that you want to give back. So can you expound a little bit on that, in terms of how you view the game in your life, and where you think it's going to take you both on and off the field?
I feel like soccer made me who I am, just the connections I made with people from the past and hopefully the future. I'm from a small island, as you mentioned, St. Lucia, so it's really hard to make it out the island without many people coming down and watching the talent we have. I played with a lot of talented players back then, but then it's there's no art for them, so they kind of just stayed in St. Lucia all the time. So my thing is hopefully have a long pro career, but at the ending, kind of have a degree and some a little sense of the connection I made in the U.S. A little pathway for the kids to come up to little prep school or high school, maybe if they change the visa situation and stuff like that, but kind of help the kids back home have a pathway of making a future and a name for themselves.
Well, you've set out that pathway. Coach, Mark Hubbard, what makes him such a good player?
Well, it's funny he talks about this because this is consistently what he's about. Someone who's continued to grow in his time at NC State, and I'm just so proud of how much he's improved. But regardless of his success or the team's success, he always goes back to going back home and being able to give back and improve his homeland. So just says a lot to his character, and that's trickled into a lot of our success as a group, but just no surprise as to how much success he's had because of that.
Toot your horn a little bit in terms of how much he has improved or in what ways he's improved.
Oh, I think it's more of his inner competitiveness has really just sort of risen through. we talk about process all the time, not just like being in situations or in big game situations, but being able to create those daily habits every single day and apply yourself to the hard things in training, and that's what he brings every single day. So it's whether it's a rondo or a small-sided game or a finishing competition. If he loses that's going to be, I'm going to have to deal with that at some point in the training session. So he's someone that doesn't like to lose, and that continues to build that fire, which then sort of trickles into the rest of the group, and those training environments are super successful, and that's kind of what happens, for his success in those games.
Yeah, he's a competitor, and I think that's a trait that if you talk to anybody here, I was at the table here, you're going to see a couple guys here, and they were talking earlier about not wanting to lose at anything. So I think that's something that all athletes, and certainly all good athletes, have. All right, Richie, it's up to you, my friend.
Yep.
Bring us home here, okay? Richie Amon out of Hanover, New Hampshire. How the hell does a kid from Hanover, New Hampshire go to University of Washington? What happened?
Yeah, so Jamie, coach right here, I grew up with his brother. His brother was my youth coach. And so going into high school, I knew I kind of wanted to go the college route, and I was like, UW was ranked #1 at the time, so sent a shot out in the dark, and he responded, and he came out to visit his brother, watched me play, and went from there. So.
What is a shot? I mean, did you text him or what?
Email.
Email? You just sending him email?
Yeah, I was like, I know your brother.
There you go, kids. Might be just an email.
Yeah.
All right?
Connections,
Right?
So that's how I ended up out there.
Had you ever been there before when you showed up?
No.
No? It worked out okay?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I visited, but besides that, I'd never been to Washington State. So.
It worked out so well that you were just drafted by D.C. United. You ever been to D.C.?
Yes. My cousins live just outside the city, so I've been a few times. Love the city. So.
And you got to go tomorrow to D.C. and find yourself a place to live. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, 6 a.m. flight. So.
What are we looking at here? You want downtown, outside of the city? What do you like? John Harks is over here. He knows a whole lot about D.C. United.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him.
Perfect, perfect. Coach in the back. All right, what makes him so good? Wow, did you shave?
I did.
I was at the bar with him a couple hours ago. He was a completely different man.
Strictly Waters.
This is incredible. Oh, my Jamie Clark, by the way. All right. So what makes him so good besides you?
Belief and bravery. He's a 1v1 specialist. He takes on fullbacks. He takes on players, and to do that, you got to fail, and the fullback's going to get the better of you sometimes. And even if he gets the better of him once or twice, Richie goes at him the third time, the fourth time, and he wears guys down. And over the course of a game, he always has the upper hand.
What do you see for him in terms of the future?
Oh, he's fun. I mean, I think with more space and maybe more guys fighting the ball to his feet, he can. I mean, he creates havoc out there in the wing. So I don't think he's. It's different because there's not as much 1v1 play anymore, and he's kind of unique in that sense. And it's probably grown up in New Hampshire. You don't have a lot of guys to pass the ball because they're probably not going to pass the ball back to you. So if they're not going to pass the ball back to you, you may as well go the whole way yourself. And that's what he does.
I don't even know if that's a compliment or basically just said there's 3 soccer players in New Hampshire.
I take offense to that.
Yeah. We're all, hey, we got 3 New Hampshire guys right here.
Oh my, you got all 3 here. All
right
3
here.
New Hampshire
Every
guys
one of
here.
them, ever.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, listen, we're going to let you go here. But again, as I said when the women were up here, it was a pleasure hanging out with you and talking to you. And again, it warms the cockles of my redheaded American heart when I sit down and I talk to people because they have an idea of what they want to be, certainly as a soccer player, but they also have an idea of where they want to go in the future. And so I wish you all the luck in the world in terms of what you're doing on the soccer field and off the soccer field. We are going to take a look back when it comes to history here, up on the video screen here. And then we're going to get a bunch of grumpy old men up here to tell stories and to complain about all the advantages that guys like these have going forward. So, another round of applause. And let's take a look back.
Joining Tom Ackerman on stage from the 1994 U.S. World Cup team, please welcome former MAC Hermann Trophy winners Alexi Lawless, John Harkes, and Brad Friedel.
Gentlemen, for making it back. Woo! John, you've done plenty of television. How's Alexi doing?
Fairly well. I would say he has. He's always been an entertaining guy. I love him to bits, and I think he's very good at what he does. So I'm so happy for.
This is like the ultimate television get-up
all
here,
the
where
setup, all the setup that he
couldn't
does.
get you a pair of shoes or something here. What's going on? What is this?
DC United legend
Oh,
shoes.
look at it. I get it. Okay, sporting the colors.
I mean, we got to get some, right?
Right? Oh, my goodness. You look great.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks, buddy.
It's great to be, and you also have history with Alexi, having defeated him for the national.
Wow, went straight there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And history with, I think we roomed together for probably 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
National team. I was there when Bora made him get his hair cut. Yep. He cried for a couple days. I was there getting woken up at 5 a.m. with him playing his guitar. That was fun. No.
It's great to have you both here. And Alexi, take us back to winning the Hermann Trophy. I want to do that before we talk about 94.
Oh.
Just for each of you, the experience of winning the oldest, most prestigious award in college soccer.
All right, well, I've told this story before, but I think it bears repeating. So in 1991, in this very room, I came here with my mother. I had never been to the Missouri Athletic Club, and a nice young lady checked me in and took me up to my room, and she said, you know, we have a pool. I said, hey, I'm going to go to the pool. Put on my trunks. That's what we called them back then, kids.
Trunks?
Put on my trunks.
How old are you, by the way?
I went to the pool. Well, you're about to see here. I went to the pool, and I opened up the doors, and there's 100 naked men swimming. And so anytime anybody asks me about the Missouri Athletic Club, that's the first story I tell them, you know. But, you know, when in Rome or St. Louis, there you go, and up we go. But what was ingrained in me in that moment, during that, not that moment with the naked men, but later on with the ceremony, was how much St. Louis means to American soccer. And not just with the Missouri Athletic Club and the involvement, but just the city. I grew up in Detroit, and we used to come to St. Louis, and then over the course of my career, many, many times coming to St. Louis. And if you care to look at the history, and there's a lot of it actually in here, it's, you know, over 100 years of being involved in American soccer and celebrating American soccer. And whether it's the competition, whether it's the teams, whether it's the incredible players that have come out of this area, this is one of the OGs, with all due respect to Kearney and other plays out there, when it comes to American soccer. And so that it is continuing to celebrate as we go into this summer and beyond, again, just makes me so happy and so proud that I'm able to come back, and that you allowed me to come back a couple years ago after a couple of decades away, and that there are no more naked men.
John, you have to top that, but I can
What
help.
is wrong with you?
How long you got?
Doctor, please.
I can help you, though, because not only did you win the award, but the first father-son duo and the only to win the Hermann Trophy, John and Ian Hart.
Thank you, Ian. Wow, pretty special, actually. Not as elaborate as what you had in your first experience, but
you had to pay extra.
Certainly very young when I first received the award. 1987, before there was, it was black and white TV, it was fantastic. But I do remember how nervous I was, and not really, a great speaker. I didn't know what to wear. I remember, trying to find, Bruce Arena was trying to find me with like a suit, And then he told me I was wearing a sharkskin suit, you know, being from Jersey and everything, a leather tie. I was like, Capizios. I'm like, no, I'm not going to wear that. So the clothes, the robe, I think I was like, you know, a Guido Scottish guy that grew up in New Jersey. And he was like, what are you wearing, Harks? You idiot. And I was like, thanks. So I ran back and I changed again into another suit. I had 2 suits, and then I had my speech. But very proud to be part of you know, Missouri Athletic Club, like Lexi said. The history in this prestigious building, but also what they stand for, the core values in the game, and the way that they build up and value everything. The Hermann family, everything that they pour into the game, the respect that they have, the core values. Yeah, the Hermann family. I mean, seriously. No, being honest. And then being able to come back here in 2016, where my son Ian actually won it. Yeah, very proud as a father, obviously, as a family, and just very grateful, very fortunate, without a doubt.
And Brad, what is it like to be back here, to be a Hermann Trophy winner?
Yeah, long time ago, 33 years, I guess, since I've been in this room. Back then, it was I was late on the scene. I played so many other sports. We were talking about it last night at the bar. So I didn't play in youth national team setup, so I was meeting people along the way. And when I was here, it was Claudio Reyna was here, Mia Hamm was here, Saskia Weber was here, and I had known them a little bit, but I was meeting new people along the way. And that was like the first time that probably the year before that I was in with Olympic teams and all that. I'd never gone into a 17s or 20s or anything like that. So for me, it was kind of a step into a room full of people, first time speaking, didn't really know what to expect, and then you win. And then you have to go up and speak, and I was just taking it all in stride. I enjoyed it, obviously. I'm glad Alexi is dressed tonight. You know, but it is, you know, it was a great experience, to be honest with you. And then you fly back to LA. Ziggy Schmid was my coach at the time, and it was just a wonderful experience all around. My first actual taste of St. Louis was I was from Cleveland, Ohio, and we played. I don't know if this name is a good name or a bad name in the room, but Scott Gallagher, and okay, good name. There we go. And we thought we were good, and they absolutely smoked us. It was 2-0. We never touched the ball the whole game. This was, I mean, I must have been 10 or 11 years old in the in Omaha, Nebraska, I think, the regionals or whatever it was back then. And that was my first taste of St. Louis. And then I had to have many, many battles in the Premier League with Brian McBride, who was another St. Louis guy. And Mark Santel was another guy who's St. Louis. And we were talking about reminiscing, and I never realized, being from Cleveland and going out to L.A., like how big soccer is in St. Louis. And there's a huge history here.
Well, we appreciate that. There is, for sure. And, you know, Brad, when you think about the '94 World Cup, now Tony Meola was the starting goalkeeper, but to be part of that scene, take it from your perspective, being part of that team and what you all meant to each other.
Well, the way I was so young back then, the way that I look at it, so I was fortunate to play in the '92 Olympics as well and the 2000 Olympics. They were so different. The '92 Olympics, being young, it was over in a flash. I don't even remember it really. We didn't go see other games. 2000, I was older, I was more experienced. I'd go watch other venues. I remember almost every day of it. The '94 World Cup, I probably remember rooming with him more than the actual World Cup. I mean, it was over before it even started. And I was, 21 at the time. I was getting ready to go overseas for the first time. You know, so it was just here in a flash. And what the players are going to see this time in 2026, people will actually know, other than the foreigners coming into the country, that a World Cup's happening. Like for the U.S., we were in Southern California. I mean, we could go out any time of the day and go do whatever we wanted. Like nobody really, maybe him because of your stuff, but Kobe Jones had a bit of a look about him. But like, we could go walking anywhere and people wouldn't really take much notice. Now everybody knows. So the U.S. team now is under a microscope, and they also have that lovely thing of social media where they're going to be under even more of a microscope. But incredible to be a part of it, but also incredible to see where the growth is today in the game. and it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going on, and the players today were better than we were back in the day, and the players of tomorrow are going to be better than the players of today, and that's how it evolves. Records will be made, they'll be set, they'll be broken, and long live the game of soccer.
I can't wait for it. You know, I was there. Yeah. I was there as a fan in 1994 at Giant Stadium. I went to the semifinal, Italy against Bulgaria. Italy won it. But I wish I had been at the Rose Bowl for the game against Colombia. I mean, you think about that experience through the eyes of these three. John, take us through that. I mean, what is that like to play in the Rose Bowl in front of that crowd?
Oh, hot. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, after qualifying for 90 for the first time in 40 years, since the 1950 team, and a lot of those St. Louis players, fantastic players that were on that team as well. There was a big responsibility because in 90, you know, we weren't expected to do well. We were young kids. We were probably the average age of like maybe 24, 23 years old. So the youngest team in the whole World Cup. And we played Czechoslovakia. We got crushed 5-1. We had a player sent off. But then we played Italy in the Olympico Stadium in front of 74,000 plus. And so to play the host nation with so much history and passion in the game was pretty amazing, right? But we became tourists in the 90. But coming back to 94, that was a huge transition for us. This was a challenge for us now where we had to be continued salesmen of the game. And we had to convince the fans that we were good enough to play in the World Cup because we didn't have to qualify. When you host, you don't have to qualify. So if we didn't make it to 90, there was rumors about FIFA saying they were going to pull the plug on us in 94 and all that. So thank God we did, okay, that game in Trinidad and Tobago, and which was brilliant. But 94 was more of like a platform where the doors were opening for us. And as Brad mentioned a little bit, they didn't know a lot about who we were. There was about 7 maybe players overseas at the time. I was one of them. I was fortunate enough to get a chance to go play at Sheffield Wednesday in the English game right after the 90 World Cup. And for us, it was coming into the unknown a lot. We were trying to establish the game in our country and hopefully be successful, get a win or two to get out of our group. We were under a lot of pressure to get out of our group. That's all I consistently remember. Everybody telling us that. Bora telling us that, the team telling us before. And there was 2 teams. There was the Mission Viejo training session teams, and then there was the 7 guys that were overseas playing. And we had to kind of transition in. And so we always talk about team first mentality. And I think the way that we had that synergy and came together, we put the game before anything else. And we put the team and the brotherhood before anything else. And when you guys know, and coaches in this room, and so many great coaches and so many great players, and also so many great people in the game that opened up doorways in the past in the history of the game for us to actually have that and walk through. When you have that, that's half the battle. When you have belief in your team and your teammates and your system, that is half the battle. Together with being humble and being hungry to prove with a chip on your shoulder that we can do this, standing in that tunnel, the gladiator shot with El Pibe and the rest of the Colombian national team, I was in fear because we didn't know a lot of stuff that was going on at the time for Colombia. And there was death threats, smuggling, whatever. There was a lot. And in that game, you know, after getting a draw against Switzerland, which was fantastic for us, we got out of the gate, got a point, which was great, which was in Pontiac Silverdome, where they brought hexagonal shapes of brass in, and there was no air circulation. But thanks, guys. Woo! That's the way to do it. We couldn't breathe, but we still got a result, which was fantastic. But the pressure was on us because Colombia at that time was picked to win it all. And Pelé and a lot of teams in Common Bowl at the time, they were undefeated. They went on a run, and they were supposed to win the whole World Cup. So for us to play against them and the look in their eyes and the fear factor that we had in that tunnel, I just couldn't believe it. And we were under pressure for the first 17 minutes, clearing balls off the line.
You're going to say
hitting the post.
79?
It was like, yeah, until we scored, and it was an own goal by Andreas Escobar, and we all know that story, which was so emotional for me because I crossed the ball. And it makes it really difficult to enjoy that win. But a great goal by Ernie Stewart to get the second one. And I think that was the time where we backed up all the hype. There was all this talk, and you got to follow and support the team and everything else. But if you don't get the results, it becomes harder. It's like now it's just talking in the back alleyways of like, yeah, they're okay. But that game, that win, kind of catapulted us to the next level, without a doubt. And not just in terms of the mainstream of soccer, but the fandom, the actual fans that really grew, and the immigrants and the inclusion of everybody coming from other countries to watch the game in our country. They actually believed, and they're like, wow, okay, the U.S. is for real. So for me, that game was a big transformative match for everything in the U.S. in terms of history.
And in the last 32 years, just about, has the explosion of American soccer been traced back to that, Alexi?
Yeah, I think you can trace it back to the summer of 1994 and the summer of 1999 and the men's and women's World Cups. I mean, seminal moments. You mentioned something earlier, and it's absolutely true. I mean, we all stand on the shoulders of previous generations. Some of them are actually in this room, and the reality is that some of you that I've talked to tonight and that are here over there, at some point, someone will stand on your shoulders, and you got to be content and actually proud of that. But it was a very Wild West type of existence. Back in 1990, when John was running around with the team, I was a 20-year-old, and yeah, I was young, really young, really young. You were really old, and I, with a couple of high school buddies, we went and we bummed around Europe, and we went to Italy, and we actually saw John, and we were drinking beer and chasing girls and going to the World Cup, basically. But I couldn't fathom 4 years later that I would be on the World Cup team. And earlier we were talking with Brad about the change in terms of the aspiration and the ambition when you talk to this generation of players. We didn't grow up thinking that we were going to be professional soccer players or that we were going to play in a World Cup. And that has fundamentally changed. And it's because of things like the 1994 World Cup and the 1999 World Cup. And that's what's in the offing, that opportunity and responsibility, let's be honest. The opportunity to bring more people into this tent, and this tent we all know has gotten incredibly big, and hopefully to convert some people. It is the continual gospel of soccer, and there's no bigger church and there's no bigger moment than a World Cup. And some will stay and some will go on, but even the ones that leave, you hope that they have a better respect. And as the saying goes, you've come a long way, baby, and we certainly have. We still got a long way to go, but what's going to be exciting for me this summer is to be able to compare and contrast, whether it's people that are visiting, like you were talking, for the World Cup, or it's people that are here because of the American soccer culture, and a lot of those seeds were planted both in 1994 and 1999 with the Women's World Cup. So, again, opportunity and responsibility this summer because it's on our watch. And I want it to go, and I want people to have a kick-ass time watching the games, experiencing the games, and like I said, coming into that tent.
Lexi has 20 free tickets in his pocket right now. So you can see him outside and turn right.
What a treat to be joined by three members of the 94 World Cup team, three Hermann Trophy winners, Alexi Lawless, John Harks, Brad Friedel. Ladies and gentlemen, when you think about where we are today with the World Cup, we can't go on without remembering 1950. The United States men's national team defeated England in the World Cup 1-0 in one of the great victories in our nation's history, many of those players from St. Louis. Tonight is a special night for us here in St. Louis. We get to spend time celebrating the game. Geographically, we are located in the heart of the country. We are the heartbeat of soccer in this country. And it's not just the 1950 team or a legend like Al Trost, who is in the house, or the St. Louis University college team that just went, the men's team that went to the College Cup before Donovan, the leading goal scorer in America, knocked him out. But, you know, all of those things, Matty DiMaria, the National Player of the Year, St. Louis celebrates soccer. And what makes it very special is that the Missouri Athletic Club has been at the heart of that. Soccer is deep in our roots, and I'd like to welcome the president of the MAC. Please welcome to the stage, Mike Cosney.
In a few minutes, we look forward to crowning the best in college soccer from this past season. The MAC has had the privilege of hosting this banquet since 1986. We appreciate the partnership with the Hermann family and their continued commitment to help grow the visibility of this great award. I'd like to give a special thanks to former MAC Hermann Trophy Award winner, Alexi Lallis. He has returned to this banquet for several years to host his podcast and help shine a light on these talented young players. He has been a great ambassador for this award. How about a nice round of applause for Alexi? Now for the presentation of the Women's Missouri Athletic Club Hermann Trophy. Please welcome 1987 Hermann Trophy winner John Harks and MAC Hermann Trophy Committee co-chair Merrill Herman.
Thank you, Mike. I can't say, and now the envelope, please, like you're supposed to hand it to me. Okay, the winner of this year's Missouri Athletic Club, Jasmine Aki.
Goodness, they're going to make you hold this thing? Are you all right? Right? Congratulations. All right, this is where you tell everybody how you feel, and certainly if you want to thank some folks that are here and around, you should certainly do that.
Perfect. Well, first of all, thank you to the Missouri Athletic Club for hosting this wonderful event. This is amazing. And also congratulations to Izzy and Jordan for having incredible seasons. There are a lot of people who've helped me on this journey, so I will name a few. Thank you to my Stanford coaches. Coach Paul is here with me, and my club coaches who helped push me to get to this point. Thank you to the support staff at Stanford and beyond who helped me get healthy and stay healthy for this season. And then to the 27 girls, one of them is in the room. Thank you guys for not only being my teammates, but being my sisters this year. You guys have supported me on and off the field to become a better player in person, and I'm so grateful for you. And then to two of the most important people of my life, my mom and dad who are here with me. Mom, your work ethic in life and in the boardroom is so inspiring. The way you uplift others is incredible, and I'm so grateful to have you as my role model. Dad, the way you support Mom and I is so amazing, and we are so thankful for you. The thousands of hours that we've put in together on the field, working on different skills and shots and touches, is one of the biggest reasons I'm up here today. Thank you guys for continuously sacrificing for me and helping me get to this point. I love you, and thank you again.
Wonderful. Another round of applause. All right, you want... Be careful.
To present the men's winner, please welcome to the stage 1992 MAC Hermann Trophy winner Brad Friedel and CEO of Hermann Capital Management, Robert R. Hermann, Jr.
winner of the men's award. A big congratulations to Donovan Phillip.
I told you earlier, you look great. Now you're carrying this. Congratulations. All right, you saw what happened before. Let's hear it.
Wait, gotta give me a second. I'm lost for words right now. There's a lot of people that play a part in my life, like everyone I've talked to, everyone that's helped me throughout my journey. But special thanks to my host family, the McKinleys and the Kaforis, for everything they did for me off the field and making me feel like home when I came to the U.S. when I had no one. I had to thank my coach, Mark Albert, for believing in me and giving me the chance to go to NC State and be a part of such a wonderful team with some great players. Well, you cannot score 19 goals by yourself. You gotta have guys to pass the ball to you and believe with you. And thank you to everyone that voted for me from back home and then all over the U.S. Thank you for believing in me. And this award is not just mine, it's all of ours. Thank you.
All right, congratulations. Another round of applause. That's wonderful. Can we have another round of applause for all of the finalists, please? Yeah, as I said before, win or lose, I think they are all going on to wonderful things on and off the soccer field. Big thanks to everybody here tonight for coming out. Big thanks to Greg and Annie Beekman, who are so wonderful. Merrill Herman and the Herman family, as we mentioned earlier, have just been incredible. Michael Kosny, the president, at least for a couple more months. See how that goes. Tom Ackerman, our host, absolutely wonderful to hang out with him, and everybody here. And as we send you out into the world here, or to the bar for that matter, I'll see you down there. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody, not just for coming, but once again reiterate, this is a very, very special place here at the Missouri Athletic Club. And if this is your first time, then I got to feel that you've probably felt how special it is. And if you've been around for ages and ages, then you already know, because it celebrates this beautiful game that we have. It celebrates this beautiful game that we have not just in St. Louis, but in the United States. It celebrates a game that is vibrant. And don't let anybody ever tell you that we aren't a soccer-playing nation. Don't let anybody ever tell you that we aren't a soccer culture. As I said before, it's vibrant, it's passionate, it's educated. And I think the world is going to see that this summer when we have, once again, a World Cup coming to our shores. But the fact that for decades and decades and decades, St. Louis and the Missouri Athletic Club has celebrated what soccer is, both locally and nationally, and contributed so much, is a testament to the people that are in this room, the people that have come before, and the people that are going to come after. So, to the finalists and all of the young soccer players here, go forth and do good things, both on and off the soccer field. Have a hell of a summer and a wonderful World Cup. Go USA, and hopefully, you'll let me back next year. Thank you.
Because we all love music. We in this house. They call it house. But it's a love house, y'all. Because we all love music. We in this house. They call it house. But it's a love house, y'all.